Okay, pilots. We'll put some new landing gear in my wings maker, SU-27. I've already got this one mounted. Got to get the control rod hooked to this servo that's right up under here. Now, if you'll note, it kind of sticks up there a little bit. Well, I could have got this lower here, but my servo is almost hitting the arm right, the strut right now up underneath it there, the steering servo. And I've got to get this area right here where the steering arm folds up and goes down in this hole. I got to make sure I got enough room right there for it to be moving back and forth. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Now on this side over here, I've got room to put a piece of the wood that I cut for the motor mounts, like this stuff here. See, I can come in from this back side here and put a piece of wood there. Okay, but I can't do it but so far over here on this side because the steering arm, I can put it in there about that far, just put me a block in there. And then maybe right here, if the arm has got clearance, I might can put something in there in between, up underneath this screw. And then on the back side, back here in this opening, after I get all those reinforcements and everything glued in, I'm going to put me a piece like across that way. And I'm also, since I've done all this extra cutting on this model, and I've cut out a pretty good section here. Let me see it here. I mean, let's see, yep, that's the way it was. Yeah, like this. Like this. That was down in there. I just kind of took my long box cutter, thin blade, just went to cutting. Come in. So my pilot, my pilot is right here. But let's see, you just can't see it. There's no way you can see it. But anyway, let's see, you can barely see it back up in there. There's a carbon rod. Let me see if I can get that light over here. See the carbon rod there? I put that big carbon rod in there and it comes out to about the edge of the nose up in here somewhere. And goes, you might can see it there, let me see here. Can't find the end. I slid all the way back to the front. Anyway, I don't have it glued in. But it's going to come out to right in here in the battery bay, so that can stop some of that. I mean, it ain't no worse than what it was, but it'll help. It'll help. And this jet's light. I mean, this foam here that they've used on this jet's light, very light. Now my rear mains. Okay. As you can see, the difference in the hole size. I mean, there's the original main gear, and there's the free wing SU-35 main gear and front gear. That's about what it is. That's what these are. Now I've got to cut, I've got to pull this block out. They small blocks. And I'm gonna have to carve all that out a little bit and see what's gonna be in there. I might have to build a whole new box for this one too. But I noticed on the front here, the length is gonna be about the same. I mean, for the tire, I'm just gonna have have to cut this down flat here and bore, and then I'm gonna have to bore it out a little bit to about out here. Now this was the servo for that gear. That was a servo operated gear. So I'm gonna be taking this servo and I'm just gonna cut that lead there, put my end on it to where I can hook it into that. I won't have to worry about pulling the wire through and putting. I'm just gonna cut this wire. There's a good servo and everything. I'm just gonna cut it right there instead of doing all this tracking and everything. So that's my next project. I'm gonna take a look here. I'm not really gonna be able to do anything tonight or today. I got that front one cut because it was easy access. It was just a flat surface. That mains could be trouble. First thing, then they got some kind of a, it goes down like a brace there, and then it's got one back here that just makes a U. I'm afraid I'm going to take all that out. So that's going to be there. Tongue and groove here. Let's see. That was on there pretty good there. Yep. Glued that one on good. Uh-oh. I told you this could be trouble. That's the way it is. It's not actually glued to the styrofoam. It's that those wooden braces that it's glued to. And the front one, it had the same, pretty much same thing. It wasn't quite as strong as this one was. That tongue and groove around it. Cutting around the edges there. At least I'll have it disconnected from the foam if it is glued to it. When it finally does pop out, it'll rip it all out. You ain't got it cut off.
off of it. Something else, I can't just pry it up. That's what we're looking at. Little blockers that they get for screw mounts. That was on there pretty good there, eh? Okay, now you see, I'm going to show you here. Now note size of the bottom of the retract. So this hole here is going to have to be wider, and actually the retract is going to be sitting on that outside out here, instead of in these pockets. It's going to be sitting out here. So if I can get that hole here just big enough for that base to slide down into, I can put me a piece of balsa right here, and I can cut this out, put a piece of balsa right there to run the screws down into. See? And then that's going to come out to where that tire is going to be lined up with the hub, but it's just going to be way out here. See, like so. So that wall right there is going to have to be dug out. Now, that's pretty thick right there between here and the top side of the wing is pretty thick. I mean, even this right here, it's probably still got another inch that I could go down. And same over here. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to cut this. I might try to cut this here right flat. See? And then go ahead and start cutting this out right here. Because it's got to come all the way up about here. See? To make that hole. Alright, pops. I got to get to work. Quit hitting my landing gear. Till the next video, I'm out.